coming from? Who's coming from the farthest distance? Feel free to share your location or whatever information you want to share. Feel free to do a shout out there. We got Terry in there as well. Good evening. Hope your day has gone well. Well, my son this morning, we're doing some remodeling in my home, and I got an extra vehicle. The vehicles are not in the garage, and he backed into my car, or one of them anyway. So it's been an interesting day. It's one of those days where you're like, you didn't look back, you just backed up, you went right into it. But anyway, I'm excited to be here though, because puts that off in the distance. But anyway, we got Central Texas, Florida, Reno, Nevada, South Florida, Pennsylvania. All right, good to have you folks today. Anyway, let's get rolling here. So where's this going here? You know what? I gotta fix this. Sorry about that. It put me in display mode instead of let's go play from current slide. Let me, oops, that's not what I wanted. Or did I want that one? Yes, let's go for it. All right. That's not what I wanted. Dang it. Sorry, guys. I got to change my setup here. Browse by individual. That way we can advance it. Play from the start. Okay, here we go. So sorry about that. Anyway, let's get rolling. So we are ready to go now. And I got a lot to share with you today. And I'm super excited about the opportunity. Risk disclosures. We're not financial advisors, nor broker dealer. We're using securities as examples and examples only. And obviously investing, trading involves risk. Option trading involves risk, etc. All rights are reserved. The material cannot be reproduced or distributed or copied without our permission and housekeeping. So again, I want you to stay dialed in. I want you to stay focused. So if you shut the door, whatever, turn off the stuff, the noisy stuff in your room, and we'll get rolling here. So pressure is everywhere, okay? In markets, in headlines, in your account, we're feeling it, right? The surge is already underway silently. Breakouts that fake out, collapses without warning, moves with no catalyst. 5 moves retail traders never saw coming. I'm going to share a new plug trade with you today, but plug 222%. SILJ, that's your junior silver miners, 392%. GDX is 72%. Coin dropped 33%. Siri dropped 37%. We took advantage of the downside on that. Every one of these moves left a footprint that we were able to follow and track. And I'm excited to share with you today how to do that. If you're always late, what's happening is you're just not seeing the truth. Smart money does leave a trail, but the fact is that most traders just don't know where to look. MACD can't touch this, neither can RSI. News, by the time you get the news, the price has already moved. Retail tools are designed to basically follow what's already happened, the price, but price reacts too late. We want to decode the surge. In order to do so, you do need a specialist and specialized tools. So you need to see it. You'll see a tool that made the silent surge visible. So all the moves I'm talking about here, we were able to identify them ahead of time. I'm going to share with you how we did that. Have you ever watched the stock set up perfectly only to see it collapse the moment you got in? Like, I've talked to thousands of traders individually on the phone over 20 years I've been in this industry. People always think that if I do it, it's going to go the opposite way. Why does the market sometimes look weak and then it just rips higher and leaves traders just scrambling to try to take advantage of the opportunity? I mean, what if you could just cut through all of the chaos and just spot signals that really drive these big moves? How would your trading change if you could see the footprints of institutional traders before the market reacts rather than after? Well, where you're about to witness, I'm about to unveil a proprietary detection system that's giving me institutional level visibility into this market. It's helping me win about 78% of trades. We're detecting explosive setups that most traders just don't even know exist. Each time you're going to see how the market was hiding and how we saw it first, how I saw it first. Plus, I'm going to talk about 2 silent surges in progress happening right now. And in fact, if you hang around to the very end, we're going to go into the console, go into this tool that I'm sharing with you today, and we're going to see what's happening now. What opportunities are there today at this moment that are materializing? And I'll tell you, there is a massive trade setting up in gold today. in GLD, and I'll show you what it is here in a little bit. So it's about how to show you what actually happened and how I foresaw the real move. Simply put, you're never going to look at price action the same way again. Here's some Ed Cascioli. He said, great call in KSS. I went with the AUG 1510 calls at 50 cents out at the open for $10. Easily my biggest winner, 47K this year. My name is Brandon Chapman. I'm the pioneer and founder of Ghost Prints. I'm a chartered market technician. Wait, I just told you, don't worry about charts. Exactly. The reality is that technical analysis is more than just charts. I've written test questions for the level 3 exam. I've helped write test questions at other levels. So for those that are in the industry that are trying to gain this designation, I've helped develop the education, develop the tests that they take to pass, and have done grading on them. As a former TD Ameritrade educator and contributor, I came into this industry in 2003. And look, I've worked with thousands of people individually on the phone over the course so that I've done this. I've taught tens of thousands of people in the format that we're using today over 20 years. And over 20 years in trading and market strategy, specializing in equity options and institutional order flow analysis, I've helped design curriculum and courses that have been sold through TD Ameritrade in options and basic options, advanced options, high probability trading, portfolio management, fundamentals. These packages have been sold for upwards of $20,000 over the years. I've done this. Trusted by professional traders. I've consulted hedge funds, top tier investors for my expertise in market structure and volatility. So I've done a lot of analysis in lots of different areas of the market. What I've come down to is that what I enjoy more than anything is options and option trading. And what this has allowed me to do is really put it all together based on all my 20 plus years of experience. Well, technically almost 30 years now in the financial industries. Mushin's coming from Lagos, Portugal. Man, I have a neighbor, a kid I coached in basketball. I've coached a lot of sports over the years, and coached basketball. And one of these kids, he's in Portugal right now, but unfortunately broke his foot. You know, he's been working the working the walking cast thing right now. So still kind of hurting him. Over the many years, I've talked to thousands of people one-on-one on the phone about their trading. I've watched good traders blow up. And the irony is their systems work, setups were clean, their discipline was solid, but the signals lied. And it really wasn't their fault. It was their tools, right? They're looking at what already happened and trying to extrapolate based on that. And I've tried every retail scan on the market virtually. Nothing catches the pressure. Nothing warns early. Everything's just designed to follow what's already occurred. They just don't lead it. There's an axiom in technical analysis that volume precedes price, but very few traders understand it and know how to use it. But retail traders, frankly, are designed to react. They're not designed to detect where the strength is coming. So I Frankensteined the APIs. I built my own filters. The reality is nothing worked. You got lag, you got latency, gaps in data. Everything failed when it mattered most. And my desire to do this, frankly, on the whole gaps in data, I've used Thinkorswim since 2006. And the data there is constantly disappointing. I go to find something and the data's missing. And so it was like building a submarine with duct tape. So what happened was, I bit the bullet. I built it myself. I remember trying to talk with, if you guys have heard of Moomoo, the Moomoo trading platform, Futu Holdings. I was talking with their developers, trying to do this, trying to create this. And they had a lot of bells and whistles, but nothing that really got to the heart of what I'm going to show you today. And I'm saying, hey, this is what you need to make it effective. Otherwise, you're just drinking from the fire hose every day. And their comment was, well, that's going to take a while to do because they'd already committed the resources in the wrong direction and they had to bring it back. So again, I needed something, right? I've used Thinkorswim, gaps in data there. And so again, I just didn't want another scanner where you just drink from the fire hose every single day. I wanted something that was purpose built, that was designed like a forensic grade detection console to find these opportunities. And if the market had a secret language, I needed a tool to make it clear and actionable. Introducing, okay, this is the Ghost Prints Surveillance Console. This is a private real-time system that intersects hidden institutional pressure. And the great thing, before it hits the tape. So you can see the unseen and you're able to strike with precision. Now, here's Eric in Northport. He says, when I was trying out the console, I saw a ghost print on Jets. I put on the trade and made 100%. I mean, that's right after he joined and started using it. Let me show you what it can do. I say it saves 20 hours a week. Well, how do I know that that's because I've done it? I've used many different tools, subscribed to other resources out there. And the fact of the matter is, none of this stuff really was designed to really give me what I wanted. And so I had to wade through all of the muck. And I found actually the best resource that could do what I wanted to do was actually the Thinkorswim platform. And so again, I just kept migrating back to Thinkorswim because at least it got me further along than any of these other tools I'd use out there. The problem is, it's like peeling back layers of the onion every single day. You run a scan at one level, scan at another level, scan at another level. You're peeling back these layers and you're trying to find a nugget. The reality is this took a lot of time. And so what this will do is save you the time that I've been spending for years doing this type of analysis. No more chart scanning overload. I know, right? It's tempting. You look at all the stocks that have made big moves and you're trying to infer something about that stock. Now I'm going to give you some keys today, even in those moves that provide opportunity. We're trying to use this to target a 50% account surge every 90 days. Will it happen every night? No, but we're trying to target and put ourselves in the best position for that to happen. I'm trying to simplify your trading life. We're trying to eliminate the noise and find the signal, eliminate the chaos and find the calm and do something you can do that's actionable and manageable for the time you have. So I'm going to go over a few examples here. Market is rigged, it seems. I get it, right? But that's how we feel. Why didn't I know about this? I'm going to give you stuff you can use here. So I'm going to ask you, here's Kohl's. Okay. This is going into early July. And you think about this. Okay. You're looking at this chart. If you're a chartist, you're someone that uses technical analysis, which I do. Okay. And again, I've been kind of a subject matter expert in this industry for almost 20 years now. But in this case, in Kohl's, price does nothing for months. Does this excite you? I mean, if we were to poll 1,000 traders and say, hey, where's Kohl's going next? Are you going to commit any capital to this? Price doing nothing for months. But this is the old way. I used to use Thinkorswim. And I look for these big blue bars right here. You'll see it there. It's got the big arrow. Well, there's 4,700 contracts bought. They bought the 18 July 25 950 calls. All right. So let's put it in perspective. Who buys 4,700 calls? It's not you. It's not me. Okay. These are institutions that are using call options instead of buying stock, at least on the initial. And so the idea being is that we're looking at this opportunity the old way. I'd peel back layers of the onion until eventually I found Kohl's. This is the new way. This is the Ghost Prince Surveillance Console. Yes, it's a mouthful, but the reality is this isn't just a scanner. It's purpose built to find actionable trades that are occurring, these prints that are occurring in the market every single day. And in this case, you would have found 4,700 contracts traded at that time of the July 18th 950 calls. This stuff just rises to the surface. And I'm going to show you how it's done here at the end. I'm going to show you in 3 steps how this stuff will come right to the top, and it's a manageable number of trades. But they were dead wrong. Here's what happened next. Kohl's went up 135% in the next 10 days. It's a big boy move, isn't it? I traded it for a 375% gain. And if you didn't see the signal, you're trading blind. I kind of use the concept of bingo card. What's on your bingo card today? What symbols are you looking at? The reality is most people get very focused on a very small set of companies and they have very difficult time migrating and adapting with market. This is not going to be your problem anymore. The fact is the market does have a secret language. Retail traders see noise. I see hidden signals that are coming in. This is rocket companies. If you look at the arrow there, there's an upcoming earnings. This was the day before the earnings. Again, 1,000 traders. Is anyone go long on rocket ahead of the earnings? Are you going to go short or are you just going to avoid it? Well, in this case, I normally avoid earnings, but in this case, there were 30,000 contracts bought on July 31st, 2025 of the August 1st calls. They were expiring the next day after the earnings announcement. And I'm like, look, somebody clearly thinks the price is going up. And the reality is If the price breaks through 1550 because of the sheer size of that trade, rocket is going to make a big move. Dare I say, rocket to the moon. Well, this is what we saw in the console. We have the old way where I'm spotting blue bars, but I'm trying to scan, peel back layers, looking at the time and so doing all this stuff to try to do the follow-up analysis, sometimes taking 10 minutes for every entry on the scan. No more. This came right to the top. And not only was it just a single call, it was likely a call spread. They bought the 15.5 and sold the 17.5. Well, how do I know they bought them? Well, look, they filled at the ask. This one filled at the ask as well, but I'm going to go with the default. They traded at the exact same time. I'm going to say it's a spread. So we took that and I did what? The stock went up 22% in the next 3 days. The next day I closed it after the earnings for 150% gain. The signal was there, right? The stock hadn't moved yet. The company hadn't released the earnings, but what? Stock ended up going to 18 bucks. Once that 1550 level is broken, it was going to create pressure. We're going to talk about that pressure today. Why does the big blue bar keep on leading to money? We're doing this so you can see it too. Call it a squeeze bar. Okay. In the case of Rocket, that huge volume bar that came in on that day, on the 31st. Again, if you look at the price reaction, it was relatively minimal. It was about an announcement. Did somebody know something? I don't think so. But somebody was willing to trade it. And by virtue of the activity they did, it can create additional upside pressure. So what is a squeeze bar? A squeeze bar is a rare chart pattern that signals pressure is building before the breakout. It's the calm before the eruption. The bar signals there's a squeeze. So let me show you another squeeze. Here's Jets. Everything looked normal until the explosion. Jets dropped 11% in 8 days. Again, go back to the idea. If you pull 1,000 traders, we're going to be scrutinizing. Well, okay, the price, did it break the low back here? That's a lower low. We have a high. We're in a neutral trend. Hasn't really done much. We're making all this inference based on what happened in the past. But again, we're trying to look forward. What do the institutions think? What do smart money think in this case? Well, we can identify these things. In this case, 4,000 contracts were bought on July 11th of the 11 July 25-23 calls. And notice a little bit later, okay, another bar popped up here. Point being is that in this case, if you look at June 23rd back here, there were 4,000 contracts of the calls traded. Again, who trades 4,000 contracts? It's not you and me. It's not the retail trader. These are large institutional traders that are buying calls on these stocks. And so these unseen forces basically tell you, hey, it's time to get in. So if you see big time call buying, high short interest, this is a TNT factory ready to explode. Has anyone heard about the short squeeze that's going on right now? The biggest since the meme stock explosion. I mean, this stuff is happening. Big moves are occurring every single day. And the reality is that happens before the move is what exactly we're talking about here today. But look what happened instead. Look at Jets. It ended up going up 23% in the next 11 days. Okay. This led to a 45% gain in 4 days. Okay. So again, the idea is we're able to take these prints and the timing and translate it to trades. Here's another trade that you saw coming. This is GDX. Now, GDX, again, pull 1,000 traders. What's going on here? It's going sideways. It's a neutral trend. Well, our support's down here at 50.5. Our resistance is up there at like 54.5. We're sitting in the middle at 53. Where is it about to go? Well, I don't know. We're not at support. We're not at resistance, a neutral trend. How do I make a decision there? Again, we're focusing on the past. We're not thinking about the future and what's happening in the market. Now, in this case, this is GLD. Well, we got GDX, which is gold miners. This is gold. 100,000 contracts bought of the 29 August 25 320 calls. That was on August 1st. I'm going to show you a trade that's well over double that today in gold. Okay. The new way, what is it? Well, look, this came right to the surface. What did they do? They bought the 320 calls. How do I know that? Because it was filled at the ask. That's what that little red button there says. Okay, call 335 calls, same expiration, traded as a spread, same time. This was sold at the bid. 100,000 contracts. Again, these are huge, huge trades that are happening, and very few people even know they exist or how to find them. Vanette Gold Miners went up 9% in 2 days. This led to a 60% gain by trading a spread trade. Okay. The great thing about these trades, you have a symbol, you have a direction, you have a target, and you have a time frame. If you have those 4 things, you should be able to structure a trade around it, right? Again, I'm trading it one way. You could trade it however way you want. Because again, you have a symbol, direction, target, and time frame. Those are key information for setting up trades on stocks, right? Or trading options. Here's the XLU bull. This is going into early August here. XLU was up 10% in the past 2 months. I don't know how you're familiar with XLU, but that's a huge move for utilities to go up 10% in 2 months. And not only that, the tail end of this is a huge move on that last trading day right there. In fact, I had a conversation with someone about this, about what I'm going to show you. They were bullish because they're looking at the price, the old way. Well, using the old way, I can uncover this squeeze bar right here, right? This bar that's occurring. 5,000 contracts. That is a big time trade for a product like XLU. Buying on August 15th, they're buying 15 Aug 25, 86.50 puts. It's actually on August 4th, if you look right here. August 4th, XLU, they bought what, 5,000? The initial trigger happened at 3,000. This was filled near the ask price for the Aug 15 expiration. Guess what happened? XLU proceeded to drop 3% in 10 days. I know what you're thinking. Well, that's not a big move, but for XLU, it is. And I was able to achieve a 70% gain on a bearish spread trade over that short period of time. This is the leverage of options, right? So we're using options to signal when to enter, to go bullish or bearish, target, time frame, all this stuff. You set up a trade. In this case, I'm looking for 70% on that spread. Here's another stock. This is SoundHound AI. I know what you're thinking. AI has been hot, right, of late. But these stocks have very, very high volatility, don't they? But Sound had an earnings gap. Again, look at this move right here. Big gap from the prior day. Are you going to get in there after a 20+% move? Ask 1,000 traders. Are you going to buy? Are you a buyer or seller? I bet a lot of people just stand back, don't do anything. But here's the thing though, right? We're able to distinguish these kinds of moves and maybe the potential still left in them. Why? In this case, on August 8th, they bought 39,500 contracts of the 15 Aug 15 calls. Now, here's the deal, folks. This creates something structural. They're buying calls. Market makers selling those calls because that's a big trade, 39,000 contracts. So guess what? We break that 15 strike price, stuff can move. Now, that's the old way. The new way is Ghost Print Surveillance Console. It wasn't just one trade. It was actually 5 trades where they bought calls on that day. Again, this is huge, right? We're able to cut through all of this noise. And SoundHound, if you run a search on Thinkorswim, you're kind of hoping, okay, can I get to the S's before I run out of time? Because it takes time to go through and dig through all of the noise that's out there. This just rises right to the top. 5 different prints on SoundHound. The 14 strike went up 220%. The 15 strike, 217%. The 15 and a half, 179%. The 17 strike went up 153%. After that signal, after those prints, these are significant, right? They're going to change the way that you look at price forever. We're going to suddenly realize that, yes, what happened in the past can infer something about the future. But the reality is that oftentimes the move has already happened or it doesn't indicate what's about to happen. In this case, SoundHound proceeded to move another 22% in the next 2 days. Big money moves from last week. This is a little over a week here, but Canada Goose Holdings. Here's a big sell-off. Then we're consolidating. We're going nowhere. We're trading in a 50-cent range for like 3 weeks. If I were looking at that as a technician, I'm saying this is a bear flag. We had that straight line move, big volume. We're consolidating. We're looking for this to break to the downside, right? Support at 11. We're doing all this analysis that ultimately does not really provide the fruit that we want from it. But in this case, on Goose, there was 2,000 contracts bought of the 19 September 25, 1150 calls. Notice there's another bigger trade out here on the 26th. Again, the old way, I'm running scans. I'm looking at one level of scan. I'm going through the symbols. I'm going through another level of scan, going through the symbols. Hundreds a day, you'd have to get through everything. So now it's a function. Did I look at Goose before I ran out of time? You don't have to do that anymore, right? In this case, Goose, you'll see they bought 2,000 contracts on the 20th and again on the 26th because the console gives you today's information, but you can look at the past, right? I can see what happened last week on the same stock. So again, we're not just focused on what happened. We can look back in the past and see stuff. In this case, also bought calls on the 26th. Guess what happened? Canada Goose rallied 31% in 6 days. These are huge moves, right? And what does SoundHound and Canada Goose have in common? We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Here's IONQ going sideways for weeks. Okay. Highs are kind of coming down, lows. Maybe we had a bearish breakout here. We're talking about all drawing our trend lines. We're trying to make some inferences. Again, ask 1,000 traders, what is the next move? You're probably going to be pretty split. And how many of you would actually trade this setup here? Well, guess what? In the console, we identified 18,000 contracts at the ask bought on IONQ. This was for a September 12th expiration just about 2 weeks ago. IONQ proceeded to make a 75% rally over the next 9 days. The fact of the matter is that this signal was given amidst all of the uncertainty. If we look at the price, you can say, well, at least we're seeing the buyers and sellers are balanced out. But it's not actually the case. When you see that the strike price of 42 here and they're trading significant enough size, that level, I call a gamma level. You break that area, and again, you'll notice we're trading right around that point right there. You start to break out, this can create upward momentum in and of itself. And not to mention the fact that there's also, in this case, for many of these companies, there's significant, very high short interest. Large institutions have already sold the stock. They've got to cover. They're buying calls. Here's D-Wave Quantum, QBTS. Stocks in a sideways trend. Okay, we're at support. Okay, maybe it's going to go to 1920. Are you taking the setup? No trend. But again, the console, we found 2,000 contracts, then a 9,000 contracts, back-to-back days, 9/11, 9/12 on QBTS. The stock went up 63% in the next 7 days. Did you see that coming right here? When I ask you, did you have this on your bingo card? Back on the 11th, back on the 12th? Probably not. Maybe it's there, but you're questioning. Maybe you're looking at the stock at the moment, but you're letting the past price action dictate your actions too much. Jerlene, this is one of our Ghost Prim members, says, by the way, I took QBTS, she misspelled it, but 919, 1950 calls at 40 cents off the scanner the other day. Sold half for 250%, rolled the other half at 400%, plus 2 free 23 calls. She started off with an option that cost 40 cents. Sold half for 250, the other half for 100, plus she had 23 calls free and clear. Those 23 calls, at least on that day, were worth $26. Suddenly, those calls that she had free and clear were worth over $300 per contract. Okay? This is what's happening, right? This is one that just occurred last week. Plug breakout and a bounce. So we kind of broke out back here. We had that short squeeze, began to pull back, big pullback from 320 back to 220, lost about a third of its value, 30%. Stock makes a big move here in plug. What do you do next? Are you willing to take that? This stock's highly volatile. How do you trade it? Do you know how to trade plug? What's the best way to trade it? What's the best strategy? Do I buy a stock that can go down 30% in the next couple of days? This is what the console identified on October 1st after that bounce. They're buying the 3 calls. They're buying the 4 calls. They're buying the 350 calls. And again, who's buying 20,000 contracts here? Right? Got up to 20,000 contracts that day. That's a big trade. 3,000, 2,000. These are not retail traders exclusively. Plug proceeded to go up 56% in 3 days. This chart is today, by the way. Gapped on the open, sold off. We kind of rallied up right back. Closed it this morning for a 206% gain. Okay. So the point is, let's say I bought a call, I moved it to the 4 strike, then sold the 4 for 65 cents for a 200% gain. That was today. That was this morning. Now, pretty volatile in the open. But I sent out a signal for this. I had to wait for it to settle in a little bit. I hate to send signals out that people can't fill on, right? But now let's look at what's happening right now. Okay, so we're going to go to the console right now. We're going to see what opportunities are materializing right now. I just showed you plug that happened over the last Wednesday to today, 5 days, calendar days, we're out at a 200% gain. Can we see something like this? And I just told you, hey, we're also looking at what's happening in gold today. So let's bring it up. So I told you in 3 steps, we can let the cream rise to the top. Now, if I look at the total down here, there's 1,537. Now, you look at most other services out there, there's probably a couple thousand more than that, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to be purpose driven based on criteria. We're already pre-screening stuff to get to this point. You'll see stuff that's bought at the ask, stuff that's sold at the bid. I'm leaving this in here because there are spread trades, right? Trades that are traded at the same time for the same expiration. But we want to focus on stuff that's directional. So we're looking at what? We're looking at stuff that's being bought. So I'm going to uncheck here stuff that's being sold, or at least it's ambiguous that it's being traded at the bid. For volume, I want to see over 3,000. Okay. This triggers at 2,000. I'm looking for something over. I want to identify a large block trade of at least 1,000 contracts traded in one trade. And I come right here. We're looking for volume to be at least double the open interest, because volume updates throughout the day. Open interest kicks in after the close. So if I know the volume is greater than open interest, I know that they're opening that trade. So volume to OI ratio greater than 1. In this case, we're looking for block trade. So what happened? We took 1,500 and we whittled it down to 40. I hope you can see that 40 should be manageable. My goal for you every day is to find 10 of these prints that you think are significant every day. And out of those 10 prints, structure 2 to 3 trades every single day and look to take 2 to 3 of those trades every single week. This process is going to help you develop practice in this and help you to get in the act and getting the experience of translating what's going on in the options market to trades and strategy. And so we see here, well, we'll sort this by volume alert. Already have it sorted, I guess. Notice what's happening in gold today. 292,000 contracts when we triggered. We're up to 315,000 right now. And I could show you the background here. What is this doing? Let me show you what's going on Thinkorswim here for just a second. If I bring up gold, you'll see the depth of what's happening right now, right? The point is, what would it take for you to see this? How many saw that? This is a massive trade today. How many of you saw this happening in gold? And guess what? The data's missing now. It was here earlier. Now it's gone. That's interesting. It happens way too frequently, unfortunately. Yes, it's a lesson, right? So we'll look right here. The October 17, 370 calls. You go to October 17 and we scroll down here a ways. You'll see the 315,000 contracts. And right now, Thinkorswim's missing the data. So if you'd have done the search earlier, you might be able to find it, assuming you went through all the layers to get there. And then you do it now, and suddenly you can't see it because guess what? The data is missing at this time. But right now, today, they're buying what? 300 plus thousand contracts Virtually all of it in one trade. Who trades 200,000 contracts in one trade? These are large institutional traders. They're actually moving their in the money 355s up to the 370 strike. Folks, this comes right to the surface here, right? KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper. I wonder what's going on there. I go KDP. And I'll just reset my filters actually so I can see the sell side. I didn't have to do that actually. But if I notice right here, what do? This is a synthetic type trade, right? They sold calls and bought puts, or a hedge. They sold the 27 calls and bought the 25 calls. Okay. That's 125,000 contracts. Keurig Dr. Pepper, that's a massive, massive trade in Keurig Dr. Pepper. And what does that tell you? There's some concern, right? They're hedging, possibly trading the downside in Keurig Dr. Pepper. Let me come back here. I'm going to uncheck these and we'll reset it because I erased the filters here. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. So we'll go volume alert 3000. We'll come over here to volume to OI ratio. And guess what? We are working on, I mentioned short interest squeeze bars. We're currently right now developing a squeeze bar indicator for this. So you know the level of short interest and the short ratio, the potential to see a massive squeeze. I already have a watch list in here that's for that I have here that has 100 different symbols that have squeeze potential. And so the idea is that we can unlock that and see more if we want. But again, we look down here, of course, AM, SMH. Who's the biggest holding of SMH? NVIDIA, 20,000 contracts bought today of the 310 puts as a spread. So you go down this list, you'll see Rocket puts being bought today, 11,000 contracts, most all of that in one trade. So as you go down the list, there's 40 of these. Do you think you could find 10 that you think might be actionable? I hope so, because there's 40 right here. And if I were to leave this set up over here and I just migrate this over here to the alert time and I sort over here, this will automatically update. Oh, click the wrong one here. This will automatically update throughout the trading. So if you've analyzed stuff here, when we get a new print, it's going to show up right at the top. QQQ just came up here. And what's this one? Nothing big. EEM. They're buying the 54 puts on EM. SPY. 630 puts. That's not a big one here, 3,300. CCL. 28 puts, 4,000 contracts bought probably in one trade on CCL. We're taking this massive universe of the market, we're boiling it down to 40 actionable trades here today. That big one is what? It's gold. And guess what? Are we now looking at, despite the big move here, and just know we've had a lot of big trades in gold, right? This is nothing, but this is probably one of the biggest I've seen. We're now looking at a 370 target in the near term on gold. You decide whether you like that or not, right? But at least you have the information that today's move, it's not dissuading traders to buy gold calls right now, right? So let's get back to our presentation. So again, this just gives you a look of what's happening right now. Again, what stock symbols did you walk in today with on your card that said, these are the companies I'm focusing on? Every day, this is going to give you that list of companies that have the greatest potential for movement in the market every single day. So what you seeing isn't magic. It's pressure. It's flagged in real time. This isn't luck. And the console's catching these things. And every one of these trades before the price actually moved. You can keep scanning and manually, or you can just let the edge come to you. Let the cream literally rise to the top. Okay. Now I'm going to let you know though, the window's about to close. I keep fighting to keep it open. So again, I'm going to do as much as I can to keep this going, but I don't know when it's going to close. Right now, the surveillance console is bundled with ghost prints, but this is not going to happen for long. Okay. Soon the console is going to be sold separately, and it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be a higher price point, invitation only access. This is one of the last times we're going to include it as ghost prints. I say the last time because I have no idea when they're going to launch it as its own product. But right now, you get it as part of your Ghost Prince membership for as long as you have your membership. This is your final window to get in. So you can join today, get full access to the console included with your Ghost Prince membership. Because once it expires, it's gone. There's no exceptions, no extensions. The surveillance console becomes its own product. So you get to lock in access before the doors close. Because the reality, folks, we're no longer in the price area. We're in the pressure area. Price is what you see. It's based on what's already happened. Pressure is what actually moves the market. You're not losing because you're wrong. You're losing because you're late. You saw the breakout after it ran. You entered the pullback just before it reversed. You followed momentum right into a trap. By the time price reacts, you're already too late. So the idea is, what if you could see the pressure building before the move ever hits the tape? Not price patterns, no indicators, raw institutional footprints as they form. Do these form on every single stock? No, because you're focused on a very select companies that are seeing these kind of patterns develop. Here's from Jam Trader, says the GP system is working pretty well for me so far. This morning I closed GoPro 82%, open 826. Bitfarms 105%, open 911. Wolf 200%, open 912. Plus GP system working pretty well for me so far. Okay, just close all these. This is just in the last month for Jam Trader. Brand, I profit over 19,000. At Brand, CMT crushed Tesla with a swing trade from Friday via the console. 19 Sep 25, 445 calls. It's a 327% profit. 30% profit, or $24,500 raw dollar profit. CEO success. I love it when people post those in our chat. So I have a chat room. I'm going to talk about here. We're introducing Ghost Prints. Okay. Our membership. This is built on 25 years of institutional insight. I mentioned I've gone through all of this stuff. I've worked with major people in the industry you've seen on TV on the back end developing their products. I've worked in the for TD Ameritrade developing courses people have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on. I have all this experience as boiling down to right now providing this to you. It's built on my 25 years of institutional insight. So included with your membership today, you're going to receive 2 to 3 high probability trade alerts. That's every week. That's a $19.95 value. 2-hour live masterclass. Now this is coming up on Wednesday. And I'm talking about the squeeze bar. Okay. If you guys have been heard the term squeeze of late, short squeezes, gamma squeezes, I'm going to go through the list of companies that are now built into the console. I'm going to tell you how the squeeze bar is made. We're just developing that indicator on the console. It's going to be column, and it's going to weigh the potential squeeze in that stock based on short interest, short ratio, and things like that. I have my proprietary formula that I developed for that. It's a 2-hour live masterclass, 12-week mastermind. Learn to trade alongside us. We meet every single Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Every single week. So we're laying out 12 weeks here, but it's every single week, a $24.95 value. Ghost Chat. So I mentioned, where did I get these testimonies? These are successful trades that people are posting in our chat almost every day. It also includes a weekly lotto trade at $2,000 value. These are where we're taking our big swings to the upside. And as a bonus right now, you get the surveillance console included with your membership. It's a $49.95 lifetime value. This is everything you need to see the unseen. Okay. The trade alerts, $19.95, the masterclass, $9.97, the mastermind, $24.95, chat access, $9.95, the surveillance console, $49.95, and our weekly lotto trade. You add all that up, it's $12,477. So I'm going to turn off my computer sound here. Okay. That's a $12,000 value. Today, you can have everything I just listed there, including the surveillance console. Again, as soon as it can be sold separately, you get it all today for $19.95 for the next 12 months. That's $10,482 off of the retail value. And if you go to theotrade.com/ghost, you can sign up and be able to obtain this opportunity today. Again, the 2 to 3 high probability trade alerts per week. So you get premium trade alerts before the market reacts. So I try to get about 10 trades every day. So I'm trying to help do your work for you. I'm telling you, hey, go through the console, find 10 setups, 10 prints, find 2 to 3 trade setups a day, take 2 to 3 week. I'm trying to model this behavior for you by putting 10 trades in a Ghost Prince activity log, and that's where I'm drawing all of the trades that I sent out here. Okay. This is based on institutional activity, hidden market footprints. It's designed for maximum upside with controlled risk. There's no guesswork, just actionable, high probability trades. This is a $19.95 value, and it's included today with your Ghost Prince membership. If you have an account that's $2,000, you would be able to take every trade I sent out with this. Okay. So again, the size of account shouldn't be a barrier for you to be able to do this. This is new. We launched this a little over a month ago. It's a weekly lotto trade. One shot, big potential. Plug power that I just showed you. This was a lotto trade for last week. You can ride the same high upside plays I trade my own money. Pinpoint setups fueled by unusual institutional activity. We have a clear entry, exit, and trade type. No guesswork. It's one trade a week with the potential for explosive gains. Again, it's a $2,000 value. It's included today. The 2-hour live Ghost Prince Masterclass. We're doing it on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. If you can't make it, we record everything, by the way. So you'll have access to the recording itself. And again, we're going to talk about squeeze bars. How do you spot the squeeze before it happens? We're going to use the console, but we're also going to understand what moves price. Because sometimes when you look at just charts, you're missing what's actually driving the price. I asked that a lot. Okay, why did Rigetti go up? Why did AEO go up? Right? What's causing these big moves? They say, well, it's quantum computing. No, it's not. You're going to learn on Wednesday what is behind the big moves that are happening and how what's going on in the options market is signaling that it may just about to happen in these particular companies. So you're going to learn how to use the console. This is a $9.97 value, and it's included today at the $19.95 price. You also get our weekly mastermind. So every Tuesday, the next one's coming up tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So if you sign up today, you can join me tomorrow. 12 weeks, we run it every single week. So I've laid out the next 12 for you. But again, we look at all the prints that happened that day. We look at the trades that we're in. We're looking for potential closing. We're going over some new dynamics that are playing out in the market. We're trying to stay accountable, improve consistency. And I'm just trying to help level up your trading so you can be able to do this stuff and be able to translate what you're seeing in the options market to actual trades. And like I said, I love seeing when people post things. If you saw my plug print at 65 cents I closed today, I was waiting for price to settle out so I could send an alert out. But people are like, oh, I saw your print late. I got 84 cents. I love it when people get a better fill than I do. Okay? Happens all the time. I'm waiting for stuff to happen so I can send this stuff out and people can get filled. And then I see people that are trading stuff that I didn't talk about. Might have been on my spreadsheet, maybe not. But they're doing this and they're using it to find opportunities every single day. And I love it when they come back and report and say, hey, I took this trade. This is what happened. We got a bunch of these kind of testimonies people share, and I love it. I love seeing it every day. The date and times for the next 12 weeks, Oct 7 through December 23rd. Again, we meet every single week, same bat time, same bat channel. It's recorded. Sign up today. You get access to our current and our future mastermind recordings and master classes. You also get access to our past masterclass recordings on the Ghost Prince membership page. I have guides for options. So if you're new to options, you don't know options, you need to learn it. I've got videos posted to help take you through basic options concepts, to take you through the console, both basic and advanced, kind of using the console in different ways. I'm talking about basic and advanced options. All of this material and education is already on the website waiting for you, as well as our live weekly classes. The Ghost Prince chat is our exclusive community. You trade with a group that sees the market differently. Live chat access, discuss setups, share insights, learn in real time. I'm in there. I'm checking in throughout the day. If you want to be more active, I'm going to be more active, right? So I'm going to step up and meet, and I'll share stuff like this morning. Plug, for example, stocks gapping open. We're chatting about it, right? I'm trying for this fill price. I'm letting you know what I'm doing on the back end. This is a $9.95 value that's included today. So stop trading alone. Join a high-level trading network today. The Ghost Prince Surveillance Console. This is the first pressure detection system. This is not just a scanner. This is not designed to throw everything at you. If you've ever followed this kind of activity on X, on Twitter, for example, man, it's just they throw out stuff and then you actually do the research on it, like, this is completely worthless. When I've had a chance to meet with some of these companies in the past and talk to them, I'm like, man, you're missing the point. You're focused on the size of a trade and you don't even know if they're opening or not, right? This is going to direct you. It's purpose built. It's a console. It's not a scanner. Scans the market with forensic precision. And again, I'm adding the squeeze bars. We got the formula, the devs working on it right now. So you can say, hey, I want to focus on the stocks that have the most squeeze potential, not just the option side of it. Okay. This is private military grade signal intelligence, right? You're going to strike with precision. Like I said, this is going to be sold separately soon. But right now you can get it bundled with Ghost Prints. The retail value of the console, lifetime value is like $49.95. It's not available publicly yet. It will be sold separately soon. But today you get it free, included with your membership. This is your chance to lock it in before the price goes up. And when it does, it's gone. So we're throwing out the old here, right? The exhausting cycle of modern trading, starting at charts for hours, trying to feel the market, right? Throwing up a bunch of indicators, trying to find a consensus to what the indicators looking at past price think's going to happen in the future. You're watching setups go nowhere. You're getting faked out by false breakouts. The reality is you're burning time you could spend living. You weren't meant to trade a full time just to catch part-time results. In with the new. The surveillance console fundamentally changes everything. High probability trades triggered in seconds, no scanning, no guesswork, just clear pressure signals when they matter. I'm telling you, based on my personal experience, having done this for nearly 20 years, it's going to save you 20 plus hours a week. Okay. You're going to trade with focus, clarity, and you're going to have time to live your life. You also get a 30-day money back guarantee. We're so confident the Ghost Prints that we're backing it with a risk-free guarantee. Trade with us for 30 days. And if you don't see an edge in your trading, we'll refund every penny. No gimmicks, no fine print, just results. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So let me share something with you. So on this page right here, so again, we're posting in chat. You can link to it at the top. Get in under the wire now. Masterclass starts October 10th. For the first time ever, you can gain access to the only forensic grade pressure detection system built for retail traders. Again, it's normally $49.95, but it's included with your limited to unlimited time when you join Ghost Prints. This is the final window to get console bundled. And after it closes, it's gone forever at a separate full price. Okay. I don't trade chaos. I see through it. Give me 90 days and we'll spot the unseen squeezes and set up this surge that may have the potential surge in your account by 50%. It's our strategy. We're trying to put ourselves in the best position for that to happen every 90 days. These are ones that are flagged by the console. 375% on Kohl's, 150% on Rocket. And again, you saw that testimony. Someone got way more than 375%. The reality is you can trade these how you want. 150% on Rocket, 45% on Jets, 60% on GDX, 36% on IWM. And that's just the start. Okay, let's start this 90-day challenge today. And let's be real, the world is in chaos right now. Markets went back and forth with every alert and algorithmic overreaction. One headline, it just sends stocks soaring, and the next headline crushes them. Retail traders were just stuck in the middle within all of this. We're trying to identify the hidden footprints and the signals of the market. And so again, take the 90-day challenge. We had a 70% gain in XLE, 100% in SLV, 61% in BAC, 222% in plug. I just showed the 200% gain we had in plug that we close out today. While others are reacting to noise, I was already positioned a lot of times because pressure leaves a mark and only Ghost Print sees it. Okay. The only question is, are you going to take the challenge and accept 2 to 3 high probably trade alerts per week? The lotto trade, one high reward trade idea every single week. Ghost Print surveillance console. This is where the rubber hits the road. This helps identify the footprints that are occurring, these Ghost Prints in the market. You get our 2-hour live masterclass. It's on September 12th. It's on October 10th. It's Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. You get our 12-week Ghost Prints Mastermind every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We record everything. You can watch it on demand. Plus, you get our chat. You got to chat with people just like yourselves about the stuff you're seeing. and I'm going to be in there as well, helping and moderating. When you add it all up, it's a 12,477 value. You get today, it's $19.95, and it comes with a 30-day risk-free guarantee. The market's full of lies. Are you ready to see the truth? Okay. So down at the bottom, just give your first and last name, your email address, your phone number, your billing address. You get a four full 90-day challenges for $19.95. And again, you saw a lot of examples here where people in just one trade made up the cost of this membership. Okay. That can happen. But again, $19.95 today. All right. So it's a special value. It's not going to be around forever. So included today, again, 2 to 3 high probability trades, the 2-hour live masterclass coming up on Wednesday. And we will have more. I'm going to do them about every 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll have more of these going forward, but all of you'll have access to everything we've done in the past and in the future here. 12-week mastermind. Again, meet with us on Tuesdays. Let's help apply this, learn how to manage our trades, etc. You get access to the Ghost Chat, the weekly lotto trade, plus the Ghost Print surveillance console. Again, a 12,477 value. It's yours for $19.95 today. Most traders, they just stay stuck, right? They chase price. They watch chart after chart. They react too late and they regret it every single time, right? It's not a lack of effort. It's just a lack of visibility that allows you to make clear and concise trading decisions. Now you have a choice. You can keep guessing. You can just keep staring at charts, or you keep reacting after the move happens, or see the pressure before it hits the tape. Save 20 hours a week and get real signals in seconds. The old way, using lagging indicators, noise and clutter, gut feel trades, watching breakouts from the rearview mirror, burnout, frustration, second guessing. Look, we've all lived it. You know where this pathway leads. The new way is about detecting institutional pressure in near real time. With a forensic grade signal clarity, a console that alerts and fires in under 10 seconds. Time back, confidence back, clarity. But again, this is the final window. The surveillance console is soon going to be sold separately at its full $49.95 value. Today, it's bundled with Ghost Prints, a $19.95 annual membership. If you miss this, you're going to pay more for less. So you've seen the truth, right? You've questioned no longer the edge exists. It's whether or not you want to use it. You can either see the unseen or just stay blind and hope the price is going to tell you the truth. Again, today you get the 2 to 3 high probability trades, the 2-hour masterclass on Wednesday, the 12-week mastermind starting tomorrow, and every week, as long as you remember, right? 3 o'clock Eastern, Ghost Chat, our exclusive community, the weekly lotto trade, plus you get the surveillance console. Again, a 12,477 value, just $19.95 today. Why most traders miss the move? They just react too late. They trade on news instead of signals, and they just don't know where to look. Your next trade could be one you'll never forget. Stop chasing the trades after the fact and start seeing the market's hidden signals first. One trade, like I said, could pay for the entire program, and join the 90-day challenge today. As I mentioned, okay, if you have a $2,000 account, you can take every trade I send out of those 2 to 3 trade alerts a week, and probably the lotto trades as well. Okay. You don't need anything sophisticated. Okay. Most of the time I'm sitting on an easy chair with my laptop in my lap, doing scans and looking for trades. Okay. You could do it on a phone. It's going to be pretty small, the print, but you could technically, right? It's not a membership. We're not going to auto renew you at the end, right? We're not going to bill you. Okay, you decide whether you want to still be a Ghost Prints member. And as long as you do, you have access to the console. You have weekly alerts, video updates, so you can follow all the moves we make in Ghost Prints. So again, everything's recorded. If you can't be there live, you can watch the recording. And again, if you're new to options, I have an entire education created. I mentioned that I've done all these classes in the past for all these people. It's people you've seen on TV, to TD Ameritrade, and the class is there. I've taken all my experience and I put it in videos and guides that will help you with your option basic knowledge, to help you get up to speed in knowing basic option terminology. So if you're new to options, never fear. You have access to me. You have access to our chat. You have access to all these guides and videos that I've created to help you along this process. I have videos set up right now, so you can jump on today after you sign up, and you can watch how to set up the console. What do the columns mean, right? And all this stuff is available to you on demand starting now with your Ghost Prince membership. You'll get access to private Ghost Prince room. It has all the links that I just mentioned. It has the chat. It has our announcements that I send out in terms of trade alerts and other things. The reality is you can use any broker. Nothing I've shared with you today is specialized to a particular broker. I usually send out vertical spreads alerts, long calls and puts, or stock. The plug trade that closed out today was a long call. And again, I'm going to send you an alert via text, via email, and push notification from the TheoTrade app that you can download on your phone, whether it's Android or Apple, okay, iOS. You're going to get all this stuff. You're going to get all alerts open and closed. For plug, we move the strike price. You're going to alert. I'm going to say how to do it, process for doing it. You can use retirement accounts. Anything we've talked about today, any strategy I've showed you, any like profit I've showed you from a trade, you can do these in an IRA. Now, granted, some brokers will limit you. Don't let them do that. Find a broker that lets you do what you want to do. Okay. You can email us anytime. We try to get back in 24 hours typically, right? With your trade related questions. We have a common email server. So just put support@theotrade.com, put my name in the subject, Brandon. They'll send it to me. The fact is, we want you to get results. We want you to be action oriented. But in order to do that, you got to enroll in Ghost Prince now. With the 30 money back guarantee, you have no risk to you to sign up today. So get started. And again, like I said, I'm excited to meet. I'm excited to be able to work with you. I'm excited to be able to help you in this process. I'm excited to help you use the console and translate it to trades, whether it's chat or whether it's email or private chat, all available through the website. Okay. Well, folks, I'm excited. If you sign up right now, hey, I'm going to be in the chat, Ghost Prince chat, for the next hour. So if you want to join me there, just sign up right now. Hop on over and say hi, and let's help get you started right now. Well, folks, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have a great one, and we'll see you in Ghost Prince chat. Thank you.